안녕하세요.
Alex Park, CEO of the giant Park Enterprises, was a man who had everything: power, wealth, influence, yet none of it seemed to truly fulfill him. His days were an endless repetition of meetings, negotiations, and high-profile events, all under the constant pressure of upholding his family's legacy. Despite being admired and feared by many, Alex felt increasingly empty, without purpose, until one simple encounter changed his life forever. It was a cold, gray morning when he entered the conference room, one of many he frequented. The walls were covered in crystal screens, and the aroma of fresh coffee filled the air. As Alex prepared to begin the meeting, his eyes fell upon a figure he hadn't noticed before. A young woman, her hair neatly tied back and her posture modest, was organizing documents on the conference table. Her name was Hannah Lee, and she had recently been hired as the company's new executive assistant. Hannah, focused and efficient, never imagined that this simple meeting would change her life. She knew her position in the company would never put her on the radar of someone like Alex Park. The daughter of a modest shop owner, with a past marked by financial struggles, she had always understood that her social standing would keep her far from Alex's world. She had no illusions, no desire to complicate her life, and yet there was something in his eyes, a sadness she couldn't ignore. "Mr. Park, may I assist you with anything?" Hannah asked, breaking the silence. Her voice was soft but firm, her polite tone a subtle way of maintaining professional distance. Alex, lost in thought, glanced at her quickly. He had noticed her presence before, but he hadn't expected her to be observing him so closely. What he saw in Hannah wasn't just a dedicated assistant, but someone different. She wasn't interested in the power or wealth he represented. She was simply there to do her job as best as she could. "Yes, I need these documents organized for the investor meeting," he replied, his voice cold and distant, though a hint of curiosity lingered beneath the surface. As she worked beside him, Alex noticed the calm and precision with which she handled everything around her. Hannah wasn't part of the elite world he was immersed in, yet there was something about her that stirred something inside him. Perhaps it was the simplicity with which she treated people, the lack of interest in the power plays that dictated his life. Or maybe it was something even more subtle, a connection he couldn't quite define. In the following days, Alex began seeking her out more often. Meetings stretched longer because he would call her in to discuss matters that weren't truly important. Hannah, in turn, felt uneasy with the sudden attention, but her professionalism and respect for Alex's position compelled her to maintain her composure. During one of these meetings, as they worked together on planning a corporate event, Alex suddenly asked, "Are you happy here, Hannah?" The question caught her off guard. He had never asked anyone that before. Hannah looked at him, unsure if she should be honest. "I like my job, Mr. Park, and I'm grateful for the opportunity to work here. But sometimes I wonder if I truly belong in this world." Alex frowned, surprised. "Why do you think that?" "Because I'm not like the others," she admitted, meeting his gaze. "I didn't come from a world of wealth or prestige. I just want to do my job well and live my life in peace." Alex remained silent for a moment. She wasn't like the people he was used to, those who only saw him as a means to an end. Hannah wasn't interested in his social status or the power he held, and that intrigued him in a way he couldn't explain. "I understand," he finally responded, masking how much her words had affected him. "But you're doing an excellent job, Hannah. Keep it up." In the days that followed, Alex couldn't stop thinking about her. He was used to being the center of attention, but with Hannah he felt different, lighter, perhaps. Something was changing within him, and he didn't know how to handle it. Hannah, for her part, also sensed something shifting, but she was aware of her position and the risks involved. She knew that a relationship with Alex was impossible in it, only because of her role in the company, but also due to the stark social differences that separated them. She wanted to stay focused on her career and her personal goals. Yet, something was growing between them, something both tried to ignore, but could no longer deny. The tension was becoming evident. Alex Park, CEO of Park Enterprises, could no longer ignore the feelings forming for Hannah Lee, his assistant. The powerful CEO, used to controlling every aspect of his life, now found himself vulnerable in a way he had never imagined. In the office, Hannah was focused on her tasks when Alex walked in. He watched her for a moment, unsure how to start a conversation, before finally speaking. "Hannah, I need your help with preparing for the investor meeting next week." She looked up, a little surprised, but responded politely, "Of course, Mr. Park. What do you need me to do?" He noticed how she seemed entirely focused on her work, without the slightest attempt to impress him or engage in power games. Her complete lack of interest in his status, wealth, or influence only made him more drawn to her. In the following days, Alex found himself seeking her out more often. Although he maintained his professional demeanor, he increasingly looked for moments to talk to her. Hannah, on the other hand, felt uneasy about this. She knew nothing could happen between them, yet something in his behavior made her question her own emotions. One afternoon, Alex entered his office, where Hannah was organizing documents. He stood in silence for a moment before she noticed his presence and looked up, slightly startled. "You look tired," Alex commented, noticing the strain on her face. Hannah smiled, trying to hide her discomfort. "Just trying to finish some things before the meeting." "You work a lot," he said, a trace of concern in his voice. "Maybe you should take some time for yourself." She looked at him, determined to maintain her professional distance. "I'm fine, Mr. Park. Just focused on my work." Alex studied her for a moment before asking a question he hadn't even realized he wanted to ask. "Hannah, have you ever thought about what you want for your future, outside of the company?" She was slightly taken aback by the question, but didn't hesitate to answer. "I just want to be good at what I do, Mr. Park. I don't want to complicate my life with something I can't have." Her response struck him. She was so distant from his world, yet so present and real in her own. There was something about her that made him question his own choices. That same day, Alex received a call from his father, who casually suggested that he start considering marriage with someone from high society, just as had always been expected of an heir to a vast fortune. The conversation only made him think more about Hannah and what he truly wanted from life. That night, deep in thought, he looked at the message Hannah had sent him. "I need some time to think about all of this." Reality was becoming harder to ignore. He knew what his family expected of him, but what did he want for himself? Alex couldn't get thoughts of Hannah out of his mind. Every time he saw her smile, the simple and unpretentious way she carried herself around him, something in his heart tightened. He was falling for her, but at the same time, he knew it could be a huge mistake. He couldn't follow his heart without causing chaos in his professional and family life. The next morning, Alex was called into a meeting with his investors. It was a crucial moment for the company, and he had to ensure everything was perfect. Hannah was there, as always, making sure every detail was in order. However, during the meeting, Alex found himself distracted, his eyes searching for her presence, as if she were his anchor in a sea of pressure and expectations. "Mr. Park?" One of the investors' voices interrupted, snapping him back to reality. "Sorry," Alex replied with an embarrassed smile. "We're ready to proceed." As he dealt with business matters, Hannah's presence felt increasingly necessary. He knew he couldn't keep pretending that everything was fine. When the meeting ended, Alex asked Hannah to meet him in his office. "I have something important to tell you, Hannah," Alex said as the door closed behind her. Hannah looked at him, slightly apprehensive. She felt the weight of the situation and knew something was changing. "What happened, Mr. Park?" He took a deep breath, trying to find the right words. "I know we're both busy, and I know my personal life shouldn't interfere with work. But there's something I need to be honest about with you." He looked into her eyes, a look she had never seen on his face before. "I'm starting to realize that I have feelings for you." Hannah froze. She knew this moment would come, but she wasn't prepared. "Mr. Park, this isn't possible. We can't go down this path." Alex took a step toward her, his hands trembling slightly. I know, but what I feel can't be ignored. I don't know what to do with this, but I can't keep pretending nothing is happening." Hannah looked away, feeling the pain of what was coming. "I know what you're saying, but it's complicated. We can't let this happen, Alex." She used his name for the first time, and it hit him like an electric shock. The distance between them seemed to be shrinking, but at the same time, the barriers were immense. She was an employee, he was a CEO. Their positions, their families, everything around them said this shouldn't happen. Alex sat in his chair, feeling frustration build inside him. I know the difference between us is huge, Hannah, but this, what I'm feeling, I don't know how to control it. I understand, she said with a sigh. But there are things beyond what we both want. There are responsibilities, expectations, and what you represent. Alex was silent for a moment, reflecting on her words. The reality felt crushing. His family, his company, his responsibilities as CEO were all at stake. But no matter how hard he tried to push his feelings away, he knew it was impossible. He wanted to fight for her. I won't give up on you, Hannah. You can take your time, but I'll do whatever it takes for us to be together, Alex declared with determination. She looked at him, her gaze filled with sadness, but also some level of acceptance. Alex, you have to think about the consequences. It won't be easy, and I don't want you to lose everything because of this. I'm willing to take the risk, he responded, with newfound strength. I won't live a life without love, without being who I truly am. I choose you. The atmosphere was heavy, but there was a spark of something new, something deeper forming between them. As she left the office, Hannah felt her heart racing. She knew she was putting herself in a difficult position, but Alex's determination touched her in a way she couldn't ignore. She needed time to think, but part of her already knew that her life would never be the same again.